PMP, the Project Management Professional exam by PMI, it's changed as of January 2nd, 2021. It means the new exam is in effect. It means there is a new exam content outline. Is actually explains about the new exam and what is happening. And if you look at my channel, you will see some other information about the question types and exam content and all this so forth. But in this episode, actually I split it in two pieces, two parts, but we are going to talk about the PMP exam reference list. Because the first time ever, actually, PMI produced this reference list to prepare you for the PMP exam. If you were involved in the project management PMI journey, you will notice that about more than 5 years probably, PMI keep saying that the PMBOK is not the major source for the exam. Exam content outline is the key for the exam preparation, and this is applicable to every PMI exams. That's why not the PMBOK, not the standard or agile standard, they are not the major source for the exam prep. Always you have to look at the exam content outline and to ensure that whatever is in the exam content outline, when you are studying, you should cover this knowledge. Now, let's look at the list, okay? Again, because the PMI started with the standard, the list that books that PMI publishes and we know. Also, I would like to clarify that PMI does not endorse specific review courses or any resources, any references, or other materials for certification preparation. Okay. The references listed on the PMI websites are not inclusive of all resources that might be utilized and should not be interpreted as a guaranteed means of passing the exam. Because, as you know, the PMP is a competence-based certification that assesses the integrated set of knowledge, skills, and abilities as gained from both practical and learned experiences. That's why you should be aware that the references identified here are, but one element of a broader set of educational resources and texts that might be utilized for exam and study preparation. That's why none of the books are listed here. It's exam prep books. They are how you become a good project manager and about the methods, frameworks, and so books. It's only PMI provides the PMP exam prep courses as of January 2nd, 2021. Okay. And this, according to PMI, this reference list is provided as a courtesy. That's why there are non-PMI publications on that list. And PMI does not endorse any of the publications. And, you have to keep in mind that when you are reading these books, if you haven't read it yet, they are just informational. But let's start with the PMI publications, okay? PMI refers to, for this exam, PMP exam, to PMI publication. The first one is the Agile Practice Guide. As you may notice, if you downloaded the PMBOK 6th edition, Agile Practice Guide is actually included in the PMBOK as a separate guide though, because the project management standards also included in the PMBOK bundle. They bundled everything. And now the PMP exam includes the Agile concepts, frameworks, and so that's why the Agile Practice Guide is one of the reference books. Keep in mind that this practice guide provides practical guidance geared toward project leaders and team members adapting to an agile approach in planning and executing projects. Okay, again, it is not an exam prep book. It is designed to show you how you can use the predictive approaches and how you can shift to agile mindset, how you can apply to Agile values and principles. Okay, the practice guide covers a practical approach to project agility. It actually teaches you how you can become a more agile. That's why the practice guide represents a bridge to understanding the pathway from a predictive approach to an agile approach. In fact, there are similar activities between the two, such as planning that is handled differently but occurs in both environments. And we are talking about the traditional waterfall approach and the agile approaches. Okay, here. That's why the book is based on the Agile Manifesto and established in 2001, okay, and express definite values and principles of Agile as the use of Agile gain substantial momentum. That's why this is a nice to have book. Definitely, I recommend you to read that one because it's quite good information, and also you will get familiarity with the terminology. You will see the agile techniques, approaches, how you can effectively manage disruptive technologies, and also the first principle of agile places customer satisfaction as the highest priority. See, that kind of key information you will get when you read this book. That's why definitely I recommend you, especially if you are not familiar with the agile, and just keep in mind that again, Agile Manifesto Values and Principles established in 2001. Okay, that's why to read it, it is good information. And if you are actually working in an organization that transforming from waterfall to agile, definitely quite interesting and good, helpful information in that book. Okay, and also that's why it will help you to get ready, prepare you for the exam. As discussed, the Agile Practice Guide is project-focused and addresses project lifecycle selection, implementing Agile mindset, organizational considerations for Agile projects. Of course, there is a broader aspect. Is organizational change management is also essential for implementing or transforming practices, but OCM, organizational change management, is not part of the PMP exam. It is another good guide, but that's why we are not referencing. If you are preparing for PMP exam, don't bother looking at it. But the other important book is the PMBOK guide, 6th edition. Of course, because the new exam covers Agile and the waterfall, it is still good to review the PMBOK guide, but always keep in mind that the PMBOK guide is not a methodology. There was quite misunderstanding long time on the market that following PMBOK guide is step by step. They thought it's the methodology is a standard. It's not. PMBOK guide is how you become a good project manager, because a methodology is a system of practices, techniques, procedures, rules used by those who work in that discipline. PMBOK guide is a foundation for organizations to build methodologies, policies, procedures, rules, tools, and techniques, and life cycle phases needed to practice project management. It is, it is a key. That's why they call it the body of knowledge. It includes the proven traditional practices that are widely applied and innovative practices emerging in the professions. Okay, you will see the good practices, general agreement that applying these knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project management process can enhance the chance of success over many projects in delivering the expected business value and result. That's why PMBOK is good, but you don't need to memorize every process is listed in the PMBOK. And also, remember, the current exam is released on January 2nd, 2021, is based on the PMBOK Guide 6th edition, because the current exam doesn't ask exactly all the processes, inputs, outputs, tools, and techniques. but it's more actually the flow. That's why look at if you are preparing for the exam, definitely look at the exam content outline. And then if you have question on certain task and you don't know how to do it, then refer to those guides. Either the PMP guide or the Agile practice or the any other guides we are going to talk about it. And also keep in mind that the guide is based on the standard for project management, which is also part of the bundle. It came with the PMP 6 edition. Because as a standard, it is based on the American National Standard Institute. Okay, the standard for project management was developed using a process based on the concept of consensus, openness, due process, and the balance. It's in the exam, there is no separation, there is no question regarding this. This is from standard for project management. It is a foundational reference for PMI's project management professional development programs. Okay, that's why the standard. You don't need to memorize any of these. Okay. And the third book on this reference list, we also call it the Bible, actually, by Harold Kersner. This is the project management, a systems approach to planning, scheduling, and controlling. It's currently in a 10th edition. This is seriously industry-leading project management book, aligns its streamlined approach to the latest release of the project management, body of knowledge, PMP guide, and also the new mandatory source of training for the project management certification exam. The reason being, it actually explains all the basic of the project management. If you are already working as a project manager, I am sure you heard about this book, and definitely I recommend you to at least review, skim through the book, because understanding the history, how the project management grew, and the concept and definition, this is definitely will help you, especially when you discuss about the more agile framework, because the exam is based on the understanding depending on the situation, still the situational exam questions, and the choosing the right answer. It's understanding the history where the project management comes, and the difference between the functional managers and the executives roles and everything. It is quite important. That's why this edition actually gives students and professionals a profound understanding of project management with insights from one of the best known and respected authorities on the subject. If you search by Harold Kersner, and you will see, a bunch of other books, or he has the videos, the webinars, the blogs, and documents, especially on even the PMI site. That's why it is good book. It takes you from the intricate framework of organizational behavior and structure that can determine project success to the planning, scheduling, and controlling process is vital to effective project management. And the new edition truly covers every key component of the subject. Okay, if you like my explanation, then I will recommend you to continue with part 2. But meanwhile, if you have any questions, and you can reach out to me, you can register on our website, akunaconsulting.com, or you can connect with me by email or on LinkedIn, or follow me on Twitter. If you are sending a message in LinkedIn, please tell me how you reach me. As you can imagine, I get a bunch of spam connections. It is difficult to sometimes, separate them. Otherwise, I'll see you on the part 2. Thank you.